there, beloved Ascension Pioneers, and welcome to my video about self-mastery through dreams, because dreams are a very important part where we focus on really playing out the different scenarios, choosing different options for the basic template of our self-mastery. So when we transcend a certain level where we perceive dreams as an astral travels and gaining different experiences, and people even who considered that there's so much darkness also associated when you plunge into the realms of the dreams, and you can explore many different realms. And when you pass that and you move on to the next level, there's this beauty awaiting you, which is the beauty of creation. So Spirit guided me to talk a little bit about that, because sometimes we have dreams that we say, I had this dream and then it just came true. And we say, I'm psychic, I have these gifts, I have these abilities. And yet, there's a different connotation about this in truth that is even deeper. So, stressing the word deeper twice, obviously has a deeper meaning, so 3 times. What is really happening is that when we work with self-mastery in our dream time, which is the practice, it's kind of like your training ground. You are training how you can choose different options, how you can play out different scenarios. We are always dreaming. Even right now, part of us is dreaming, because this is how we master working with energy and working with choice in order to ascend, to create our own reality. As you know, I've shared before that beyond just this experience and, let's say, serving through our own experience and sharing is a pure level when there's nothing but pure creation energy. So pure source beingness, where we create, we work with the energy of creation, and we utilize it again for expansion and the greatness of all that is. So when we pass on to this next level of initiation, we will start to understand that everything happening within our dream time is in fact a reflection of what's happening in a real time. So when we start walking deeper into our self-mastery, the dream time and the self-realized real time actually are merging, just as our minds and all of our lower bodies are merging with the soul. There's no more separation. You no longer can say, well, I'm making this choice through ego, and sometimes I make choices through the soul. It's all one. All parts of us are actually coming into wholeness. They're coming into unification. So the greater unification of our soul means that there's different parts of us, we don't perceive them as separate at the same time. So we're working with the energy of unification, even if there's sometimes something that feels is in conflict with within ourselves, and we say these are different choices, and there's different parts of me drawing me to different outcomes, to different solutions, to different conclusions, for me to realize I have choice. That's the first basics of self-mastery, realizing you do have a choice and that you are a co-creator being who only works with divine potential, which is that pure neutral energy that always has potential, it always has life force, and you're the one who's mastering that. So when you realize that, the next step is to realize that even though you may perceive things as conflicting, in truth they're not conflicting, because from a greater perspective, these parts of you are just coming into unification. And even though there's parts of you that say, I'm in contradiction with this part of me that maybe wants to go that path and that choice, because I have people that report to me, there's a part of them that feels something, and yet they're being drawn in another direction, and they don't always know how to relate to that, or what the awareness is really about this. But what's really happening here is that we're plunging into these different timelines, and we're drawing them forth. There's different aspects. Before we are in our unified self, we will still perceive that there's this conflicting energy, that there's opposition, there's duality, and sometimes we're torn even in different directions. The next step, when you realize that from the higher perspective, there is no chaos, there is no conflict, that all these parts of you are just coming into greater union with thyself. And the path of ascension is the path of you really tuning into your I am, and walking that path means that you embody all of these parts. They're returning to you. You're becoming a free self-master, a free being, a sovereign being that governs your own choices. And you, when you make those choices, you come from all these soul aspects, and yet you have discernment to know how to walk through them and what messages they're sharing with you. So first step, real-time dreaming, your conscious dreaming, out-of-body dreaming, your nighttime dreaming is changing, it's shifting, it's becoming more real. And it's not because you're more psychic, but because you're more aware. And you're aware of the other parallel parts of you, the higher, more expanded parts of you that already know that they're training this different levels of creation, that they're always in training, and why they're doing so, and how this is all like this template for your self-mastery, for practice, for experience, for your expansion of the soul in this body. So the more you notice that maybe your dreams match your real-time reality, it means that you're merging and you're getting more unification. When you perceive something inside of you as conflicting, again, come inside of you, ask yourself, is that true? Because in truth, even those parts that you perceive, because it is all about perspective, you perceive that they might be in conflict and you're torn in different directions. Maybe a part of you wants to be with that person, maybe part of you wants to be there, and you don't know what to do. These are just different fragments returning to you. There's a process called soul alchemy, so the soul coming into its resolution, into its completion. And this is what's taking place. So I call it soul unification, because it's all these different parts becoming aware of itself and their part and their purpose. When you're not fully aware why you have maybe emotional desire this way, your mental aspect is guiding you in another way, your spirit wants something else, it's like embrace this process through deep compassion and just embrace it. Let these parts unify within you. That's really important. That's the next step to take, because a lot of times when I work with people, they say they don't know what to do because they have these conflicting realities within them. When you just embrace whatever it is as it is, then everything will dissolve and evolve naturally. You just need to allow it. You give it space to grow, to blossom into what it's really meant to be. So up until that's a process of unification, you will maybe still feel a bit of that conflicting energy, or tuning into these different timelines, but not yet pulling them as a unified whole. Embrace this process, allow this process. Even your dream time is showing you that. Really reflect on how your dream reality is mirroring your true daily reality, because in truth there is no separation. Again, the more you become an ascended master, really working with focus, with intent, with the energy, the flame of ascension, you will start to realize that dream reality is just kind of like I said, your playground. You make different choices. I'll share with you one experience now before wrapping up this video. I had this dream once, and I have many of this, I call them my mastery dreams. I don't know, there was something about me realizing how I can propel myself through changing the density of my body. So I started to gather the energy so that it densified, and that density, when I changed the density, it lifted me off, and I was actually floating above the area, and I was looking at the village and the city, and then all of a sudden I go, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be noticed here, because I'm gonna, come out too strongly. I'm really gonna stick out, and they're gonna see I'm weird. I'm just glazing. I wasn't really flying. It was almost like floating, because the density was changed, and I was like floating above and just observing and kind of propelling myself, yeah. And then a part of me goes, but I'm unseen, because I'm in a different altered reality. And I realized this, and I have many of these dreams when I realized, in one of the dreams I realized I have powers, and I started using them, and I was creating the energy of fire and water, and there was these dreams, and these dreams are just showing us our divine potential, how to work with it, how to embrace it. You can also have how to work with your sacred sexual energy, with your life force dreams, orgasmic dreams. These are dreams that show you how you propel the energy, how you move the energy, how you utilize it, how you culminate it, all of this, and then for you to use it for your advantage, which is your self-mastery. And that is not your own personal advantage just for you, because when you master yourself, you assist the whole, because you're remembering who you truly are. You're remembering your divine creativity. So dreams, when we look at them from an even higher perspective, I made a video a while ago when I discussed different realms we can enter in the dream scope, and Spirit said, look, this is the most important aspect now for self-mastery, is see how the dreams are unifying now, because this shows how much you really are living what you already practice in the higher realms and what you already do know. But then it just shows you, like I said, not that you're more psychic, you're more aware. And I have many situations when I had a dream, and that dream strictly applied a direct situation that was almost like a perfect mirror. And it's just that we have this higher realm attunement. We practice, we kind of like, we do a rehearsal, and then we really walk it in our daily life. And these are true mastery dreams. So the more that they merge, and the more these aspects of you merge, like soul integration wise, then the more you will feel this deep unification process within yourself. So just observe, just be compassionate towards it. And this is it for today. I hope you have a beautiful time wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And take care. As always, so much love, wisdom, and power. Bye-bye for now. Bye.